So to start off this project here today, we have some Padauk and we have some walnut, and they're absolutely gorgeous pieces. And what we're be doing with these is we're going to be resawing them and book matching them to start this epic sign build for B-Rogue Built. They do awesome twin turbo kits. This is part of a collaboration. We're going to be working on this for the next few days here in the shop. Super cool stuff. I'll leave a link to their Instagram down below, as well as their handle right there, so you guys can go check them out. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this build, and we're going to walk you guys through the process.
So the first of actually book matching your material is you have to cut it down to the perfect size of what you need. So the walnut piece, I'm going to be cutting it down to 40 inches. The Padauk piece, I'm going to be cutting it down to 14 inches. And I'm going to take both these boards over to the miter saw station to cut them up. In my miter saw, I'm using an 80 tooth blade. It's a 12-inch blade. And my miter saw station has a slide on it, so it does about 14 inches on a cross cut, which is great for this type of stuff. The Padauk piece is actually milled up pretty nice. The walnut piece is rough sawn, so I'm gonna have to clean this up also after I cut it on the miter saw station by taking it to the joiner, cleaning it up. And I think I'm gonna do that to the Padauk piece also, just so that I have a nice flat edge on the side for the bandsaw for resawing, but we'll get to that point. Let's start cutting. So before we take our walnut piece over to the joiner, what we have to do is come to our thickness planer and make sure both sides are completely flat so that, well, it can ride really nice on the fence on the joiner, so I can get a really nice flat edge on the bottom so that that flat edge can ride really nice on the bandsaw while we resaw. So here we go. Over here at the bandsaw, I kind of want to show you guys how I cut my material on the bandsaw and what I use. So starting with the blade, it's a 3 teeth per inch blade. It's also 5/8 inches wide. It's a pretty beefy blade for resawing. This bandsaw also has a 6-inch riser, so I can get about 12 inches of resaw cut width in between the top and the bottom, because that would be 12 inches. Now, the fence that the bandsaw comes with is terrible. It's the worst fence you can possibly get, because you can't resaw with it. So I use this as a square, perfectly square with the blade. It locks down on my bandsaw just like so. But I don't have a resaw fence, so I made one. I made one out of plywood. It's right here. So this little fence system slides up right next to the fence like so. And I take 2 F-style clamps, like this one right here, and I will clamp it like so onto the fence rail system and on the fence rail system back here. I dial it in perfectly to whatever thickness I need the material to be. I go ahead and cut, and it works out perfect. So let's start cutting.
We finished up on the bandsaw. We got our pieces all resawed. They're looking really nice right now. So what I'm going to do is actually take them and show you guys how the book matching actually works. So as we have our 2 pieces laid out here on the table, what I'm going to do is simply just lift these up like so. And as you'll see, that beautiful grain has been revealed. And this is going to be our book matching, and this is what's taking place. It's really going to look nice on the sign as I'm looking at it right now. This is going to look really cool. So basically these 2 panels will be glued together. And before we can do that, we need to take it to our drum sander, where we're going to sand them down to perfection, because obviously when we cut these with the bandsaw, the blade, you know, you get a little bit of room to sand. So we're going to sand these up, clean them up, make them nice. So we're going to take those over there right now and do that. We're running 80 grit sandpaper on our drum, and then we're going to come back to this table once they're all cleaned up and show you guys how we set up to glue these boards together. And that's basically where we're at, so let's get it going.
So we have to clamp up the walnut board, and I'm going to be using 3/4 inch pipe clamps. I'm going to use 5 of them, so we'll start gluing.
So we got our walnut panel all glued up in the clamps here, and we gotta wait for this thing to dry overnight, so this video is pretty much over, but I am gonna give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into what's gonna be happening in the next video here. So we do have this piece of Paduk right here, and we do have a turbo kit, so something crazy is gonna be happening with that, and we don't really know where it's gonna go. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay tuned if you guys wanna see what's gonna be happening, but just like that, this video is over.